Good morning, good morning. Just doing a little work as I do every day. But I had another word for you. I want to share something with you. Um, let's talk about loan disclosures. So it's something that you might not be aware of. When you apply for a mortgage loan or when you talk to a lender, once that lender has a certain amount of information, once they have 6 pieces of your information, the lender is required to send disclosures to you. These are called initial disclosures. So, a lot of times, the information about your loan is not going to be accurate at that point because you may not have even decided finally what loan program you want to go with. So, for instance, you call a lender and you say, "Hey, I want you to pull my credit because I want to see what I qualify for." Once you give that lender your name, your social security number, your address, your date of birth, basically everything, and they pull your credit report, if there's an address, if there's an address in there, like let's say you did sign a contract with someone at a subdivision, once all that information is in the lender's system, that constitutes an application, and they have 3 days to get disclosures out. Now, in those first 3 days, we might not be aware of everything that you have paid. We might not be aware of exactly what the loan program is. Your rate probably is not going to be locked, especially if you're buying a new construction type home. The lender doesn't know what your homeowner's insurance yearly amount is going to be or your taxes. So, and it could be that you typed in all of the information in the application and maybe you didn't type it in right. I don't know. Maybe the lender didn't type it in right. Not trying to place blame here. But the bottom line is everything is not going to be accurate on those initial loan disclosures. So a lot of times people will refuse to sign those because they'll say, "Oh, that's not right. You got this wrong." These are initial loan disclosures. These disclosures do not bind you to anything. They do not obligate you to anything. The lender is not obligated at this point because these are initial loan disclosures. So, my message here is this is not the time to start talking about, "I'm not going to sign this. You need to correct this. This is not right." It might not be right. It might not. And this is just the honest truth. Lenders are not trying to steal your information. They're not trying to trick you into something that you didn't know you were going to be signing. That's not in our benefit to do that. We wouldn't stay in business if we did that. So I'm just trying to explain again. I wrote that book because I think people are not prepared. They're really not prepared for the expectations that the lender will have of them. They might be sure of what expectations they have of a lender, but it's a two-way street. You're contacting a lender because you want to borrow money. Borrow money. So I think that it would be beneficial for you to learn a little bit more about the process before you jump in. It's like jumping on a treadmill that's already going faster than you're able to run, really. So I really think it's very, very important. Buying a home is going to be probably the biggest thing you ever spend money on. And so it's very beneficial for you to understand a little bit more about the process before you get involved in it. Because when you don't understand how things work, then the whole mortgage process is like a tug of war between you and the lender. "I need this. Why do you need this? I need you to do this. Why do you need me to do that? I need you to sign this. I'm not going to sign that." That's not really the way anybody wants to spend time. You don't want to spend your time that way. Your loan officer doesn't want to spend their time that way. So I promise you, this is not to make you feel bad, to scare you, to make you feel, as they say here in the South, some kind of way. This is really only to help you. My only goal is to help you understand the process that you're going to get involved in when you decide to buy a house. So again, initial loan disclosures are just that, initial. So if there's anything wrong in those, if there's any typos, any errors, anything that's not correct, then once you acknowledge, because when you sign those, you're basically acknowledging that yes, you are in the process of trying to obtain a mortgage loan. So you sign those initial disclosures, and then anything that changes, you'll get change in circumstance disclosures, because anything materially that changes has to be disclosed to you so that you and your lender are all on the same page. So again, don't be afraid to acknowledge or e-sign initial disclosures. That's my word for you today. You know I'll be back with some more information because I'm just trying to help you. All right. Thank you for hanging with me today.